Alright dudes, let's have a closer look at my woodworking bench. It's got an integrated automatic dust capture system, as well as an arborite or formica countertop with T-tracks for material hold down. This bench has got rolling casters that are lockable and a bunch of other pretty cool features. I built this with the sole intent to help me and my ergonomics when building camper vans, so let's take a closer look. So, quick overview of the bench. This is the working side. So after the material is cut, this is generally where I will assemble and build most of the pieces. I've got this top drawer that works awesome for your main stuff, like little things, screws, glues, stuff like that. Sanding pads, that sort of stuff is in that one. We've got basically just a big empty drawer. And down here we have easy access to a bunch more hand tools. This is probably my most used tool. It's a 12-volt DeWalt little drill. And a bigger drill, impact, nail gun, and then also 2 spots here for maybe some future additions. Alright, so let's talk about the table saw. We've got this fence back here that moves within a cutout on the top of the table. So what I had to do essentially was build the template that was for the table saw. So I measured all of the outside dimensions, gave myself approximately 1/4 of an inch, and made sure that I had plenty enough room in there to be able to also align the table saw within the table. So fortunately this design, it's easy to access the back feet so that I can ensure that the table saw is bolted down. And that way it doesn't move. Down in the bottom, just a whole bunch of open space. A lot of times I'll put my smaller ongoing projects down here. So under here, we've got the router. And I can move this router bit up and down really quite easily. I built this attachment, and what this attachment is it is actually a fence for my router table. It's a vacuum attachment. I can also put bits in here. This is a bit of a handhold. So one of the goals was to capture all of the dust that was created both in the table saw, the router. I even have a hand wand down there so that I can suck up stuff, debris that's around. I actually don't use that very often, but I also have a downdraft table here. So you can see there's holes in there. And what happens is essentially as the Mitre Saw is creating dust, there's a draft that the vacuum pulls. And what happens is it enters the bottom cavity here that I made removable. So I can clean it out if need be, but it's been very, very clean every time I've checked it. So not only does it suck the dust from the bottom, but it also sucks from the the debris that's pushed out from the saw blade itself. After the dust enters that cavity, it leaves through this outlet and it goes into this handy dandy manifold. Once it's in the manifold, it goes its proper route, whichever way that may be, and it comes out and into the vacuum, and it's captured in the dust bag. Another thing I need to point out is this current sensing device. This is actually what turns the vacuum on when a tool is activated, so it does it automatically. One of the things I have yet left to do is to put a piece of measuring tape on there so that I can do repeated cuts, I guess, more quickly. Other than that though, this station I thought turned out really good. I'm using these T-slots or T-channels or whatever you want to call it. I keep a couple of clamps over here. I'll just give you an example. Let's just say I was wanting to secure a couple of pieces to glue panels together. I could clamp them on the tabletop. I could also have a piece and cut off the side. It kind of acts as a third hand or a fourth or a fifth hand. It's 5 by 10 feet. So that presented some challenges as far as making sure it was level and whatnot. There's 2 sheets of 3/4 inch Baltic birch that are used on the tabletop. So you can see on this side, we've got lots of room down here, a huge amount of open space. It's on rollers, so all four corners are locking, and that makes things really, really simple. Honestly, I know some people are against having their tools on rollers, but this bench is big enough that it holds its weight very well. So if I try to push this, like I'm pushing pretty hard on that, and it just wants to stay there. So, you know, it's super solid that way. So that concludes the tour. Unfortunately, I don't have build plans for this thing. You'll just have to hire me and I'll build you one. But outside of that, I hope you have a great day and reach out if you got any questions. Peace.